Have you ever arrived somewhere and realized that you don't even remember the drive? Yeah. Or maybe finished a conversation and realized you don't remember the person's name or you don't even remember what they said? Ah! Maybe like you've spent an entire day replaying something that happened yesterday or worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet. Yeah, if so, you're not alone. Most of us spend a surprising amount of time somewhere else other than where we actually are. So, today, we are going to cover all the importance of what it means to be present in the moment. So stick around and we'll dive a little bit deeper into this and why it's important because we need you. We need the best version of you, and being in the present moment allows that. So, cheers to you to start. Welcome. You are in Laura's Lane. I am Laura, and here we are just about staying open, staying authentic, staying present. And this is the beginning of a new series. So, instead of being in yesterday, or instead of being in tomorrow, we could actually be in the story if we're present, but we aren't always here. So let's just explore why that matters. What is the present moment? When people hear be present, it can sound really complicated or it can sound actually just like really cliche, right? Be in the present moment. You hear it everywhere, but I just want to make it real and why it's so valuable. So we're going to just keep exploring that. Sorry, it just is. I wish everybody could just practice coming back to the present moment. And it is something that I do every day. I have a free video that I do it comes out in the morning, but you can do it any time of day. It's 3 minutes long, coming back to the present moment. And even I also have the 5-minute evening reset that's in the description below. And that is an audio you can download for free. That is a great way that you can just access coming back to the present moment if you feel like you can't do it on your own or you just like having the guidance, right? That one's an evening reset, so it's done in a different style. But join me in the mornings on YouTube, okay? All right, let's keep moving along here. Sorry, I get distracted. But the present moment is actually really simple. It's what's happening right now, right? What can be seen, what can be felt, what you can hear, what you can observe. It's not the replay, it's not the rewind, it's not the prediction, it's not the story, it's just actually what's happening now. The one that's happening now, you and me, together, in this moment, right? Hearing my voice, seeing me on the screen, or maybe not if you're just shuffling, doing things around the house, but that you're in that moment doing that thing. And it's very easy to miss it, right? Many of us, we really become so accustomed to thinking that we don't realize how much time we spend inside here. Right? It's true. I am so guilty of this. Why do you think I'm here preaching this and practicing this and telling you the importance? Because I have definitely spent a lot of time up here. And so I actively have to work on being present. So, we replay conversations or we're living in the future, imagining scenarios, sometimes things that won't even ever happen. And we solve problems that don't even exist yet, right? We revisit things in our past that we can't change. There's no control over. And before you know it, we've just lost this moment, the moment that we're actually living. And, it's not something to judge. It's just simply something to notice. So awareness comes first. Awareness comes first. Awareness comes first. Awareness. What changes when we spend more time here? That's really important to know, right? Why do it? Why focus on it? There's no benefit. Well, small things can start to shift if we really come present in the moment. It affects bigger things. Small things to start. Not because we force them to, but because we're no longer like carrying around so many different timelines, the past and the present and the worry and the fixing, right? So there are wonderful mental benefits. And if you could become present and start practicing it, you might notice that there's a lot less like mental noise, maybe less thoughts or fearful thoughts, judgmental thoughts, angry thoughts. A lot less mental noise can start to settle in, right? You can have less overwhelm just for what's happening in the moment, what's happening in your life in general. You can have greater clarity. That's a good one. Improve focus, more grounded decision making because you're actually making a decision about what's real, what's there. And you're not just reacting to something, you're responding from a grounded place, from who you really are, not just some triggered, person, which we've all done. So there's no judgment, but right, you're not coming from that triggered place. You can respond from a grounded place, and each person's grounded place feels different, but it is the best version of you. I mean, when the mind isn't constantly jumping between yesterday and tomorrow, it has more energy for this moment, for today, right? So some emotional benefits of coming back to the present moment, it just helps us become more aware of what we're actually feeling, not what we think we should feel, not what we're trying to avoid, but what's actually here. Some people might notice greater self-awareness, emotional honesty. How important is that? Have you ever dealt with somebody who's just talking to you and they're saying what you want them to say, and you wonder if they even realize that you're trying to have a dialogue with them, right? And you could tell they're not really connected. They're not authentic. Well, the same thing can happen to us. We could be responding to somebody or interacting with somebody and we're not even there. We're not being honest. We're not being authentic. And again, it's not a judgment, but it's an opportunity, if you practice coming back to the now moment, to have greater emotional honesty. People are drawn to that, right? I've been around people where they're just with you. They're with you in the moment and they're listening and responding, not waiting to talk over you and tell you all the great things that they've experienced or how they can fix you or anything like that, but they're present with you, however that conversation ebbs and flows. And those people are so fun to interact with, right? There could be less suppression. There could be an increased ability to respond instead of react. We covered that, right? But it's important. And not only is it important for these moments and the way that this could build relationships, but you have physical benefits by coming back to the now moment too and being present. The body does live in the present moment, no matter if we're living in our mind or not, right? The body's here. And sometimes our thoughts aren't. So as we bring our thoughts and our whole person back to the present moment, we might notice that we're breathing differently. We might notice that there's like less physical tension in our bodies, greater body awareness overall. And this one I love is a more regulated nervous system. That's so important. So many of us are living in fight or flight. That cortisol kicking in our body just from, extreme situations that we might have experienced. And coming back to the now moment is wonderful for helping to relieve that, right? And the body can just begin to simply relax because we've placed our focus here. And now we're not going in so many directions. So, presence also changes how we show up with other people. Like we talked about, in conversation. We might notice more, we might connect more. And then people feel that. And they love being truly listened to. And we love it when someone truly listens to us, right? So presence isn't just helpful for personal growth, it affects everyday life. Like we can have improved creativity, better problem solving, or gratitude. When we're present, we can actually look around us, be with what's around us, and realize, wow, we are really, truly grateful for what is in our life, even if it's not everything we want yet. But being present helps in our gratitude practices and our gratitude awareness. Being present helps us just kind of look around and say, wow, the ordinary things become just bigger, more special, more beautiful, more vibrant, more alive. Just more enjoyment in everyday life when we are present. It's true. It's true. When we're really here and we actually get to experience the life that we're living, not like just through our head, it's a different way to think about presence. Sometimes people might think that presence is, that cliche thing. Maybe you have to give up goals, or, oh, you need to just meditate, or not plan for the future. But that's not what this is about. Of course, we can plan for the future. We can still learn from the past, of course. I mean, that's being wise, in my opinion. But it's not. Presence is about not escaping. It's about fully embodying what is here. It's fully entering life. Get away from it. There's so many things in the world to distract us, right? And we'll talk more about that in the next episode. This is just the first episode in this series, but there's so many benefits to being present, and I just wanted to share that with you, especially for those of you that have already joined me doing the daily breath work that we do to come back to the now moment, about 3 minutes long. I just wanted to share with you. I don't have enough time in those 3-minute videos to just tell you some, and these are only some of the benefits. There's so many more, and we'll kind of explore that at greater detail over time. But I invite you, if you're so inclined, to just notice for the rest of your day. I just invite you to just notice. Where does your attention go? Where's it go? Yesterday? Tomorrow? Here? Not about being judging you. It's just about you becoming aware for yourself, for your own information. Awareness truly is where everything begins. And, sometimes just simply noticing is just enough to start, right? So why don't we take a couple minutes here and just come back to the now moment, just in case you've drifted off or, you're not present. That's okay. Let's do a quick little breathing exercise. So we're going to breathe in for the count of 4, and we're going to breathe out for the count of 4. And we're going to bring our focus right into this moment. So just notice where your feet are on the ground or on the chair. Notice where your hands are sitting and what they're touching. Notice how your head feels and the muscles in your neck. Notice, let's start at the bottom, toes, legs, stomach, chest, neck, head, arms, hands. How's everything feeling? Right? How's it feeling? Close your eyes if you want. You don't have to. Let's breathe in for 4 and out for 4. Let's take a breath in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Next breath in. Just notice your body. Is there any tension? And release that tension if you can on the exhale. Next breath in. Notice something you hear. Release tension on the exhale. Open your eyes and notice something you can see. Its color, its shape, its size. Exhale. Release any tension you might be feeling. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out. Pause here. What do you notice? How does your body feel? How is your mind, your heart, your muscles? One more deep breath in and out. Welcome to your present now moment. It's a great place to be. So I would love it if you would join us and make this a daily practice. You can follow me, subscribe to get these. They're daily. They're almost always under 3 minutes. Sometimes it'll be like 3:30 or something, so you won't see it in your short lineup. But it's a beautiful place to start, to become aware of where you're at. And when you go and, lose yourself in a thought or the past or whatever, it's a great way to pull yourself back. Just the breath. As simple as that. Let's see what else I have. So, as you see, very easy technique. And, the past is a bunch of distractions. If you think about the future, it's a bunch of anxiety. And so in the next episode, what we're going to do is we're just going to explore how this happens. How do we drift away from ourselves? Why awareness is like the first step, really, in finding our way back. So I hope to see you there. We'll explore it a little bit further. I thank you for taking this time to be with me and just explore this a little bit deeper. It is my first episode, and hopefully I will get better over time. But cheers to you. Cheers to your now moment, the present moment, where all of your gifts reside. And stay open, stay authentic, and stay present. Cheers to you. Ciao, everybody. I will see you next time. I look forward to it. I do.